Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the B2B Outbound Marketing and Sales Automation series of BizB. For today, I'm excited to have Martin Martinez on the call. He's from Australia and the CEO of Meet Alfred. Martin, welcome.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. And let's make things a bit more comfortable by letting you tell us a bit more about yourself. Who is Martin as a normal guy?
I'm a 45-year-old guy living in Australia. I was actually born in South America, but I grew up in Spain, and I've been living
Nice.
in Australia for a very long time. A father of two, married, living in Sydney. So that's me in a wrap.
Wow. So you traveled a lot?
Yes, by the time I was actually 14 when I came to Australia, I had gone to 7 different schools and moved 26 times. So I was a
Wow.
true gypsy, as they call it in Spain.
We call them now digital nomads. You travel around to work, but previously there was not that term coined yet.
Exactly.
Well, it's interesting how you manage to do all these things in parallel and keep on top of Alfred. And because when I know you for more than 5 years ago, when you start Meet Leonard, which was, I think, your first product, or I'm sure you even had a bit more. So how did Meet Alfred started? What is actually the story behind?
Sure. So it all started when I was running a consulting firm. It was theboardroom.com. And we used to have a virtual mastermind program. It was primarily based in Australia, but we had clients all over the world. And our consultants were really high-end, CEOs of major companies, which we were able to give access to people quite affordably because they met online in a virtual platform that was theboardroom.com. To grow that consulting business, we used, we tried everything, like all new businesses. We tried paid advertising through Google and everything else, even print advertising, but nothing really worked. And it's very common for consulting. So I came across a friend of mine who ran a LinkedIn agency, and he said, "Why don't you give LinkedIn a try?" So effectively at the time, he took over my personal LinkedIn profile. It was
Mhm.
costing somewhere about $2,500, $3,000 a month to run my campaigns, and it was the first thing that actually worked. And it worked so well that we felt that this was the solution for us. The problem was that we had 12 to 15 consultants in the team, so if you start multiplying $2,500 by 10 or 15,
That's a lot
it
of
was going to be
money.
a exactly, it was going to be very expensive. So what we decided at the time was to look at ways that we could, scale. And we already knew the methodology, messaging, connecting, all of those kinds of things. We understood the process. So we started hiring virtual assistants, and we built a team that was able to run campaigns for everybody, and it was all done manually. But at some point after we started managing 4 or 5 consultants, we couldn't get to 10 or 15. It was just very hard. So that's when we started looking at automation. And I looked at all the tools that were available at the time, and I'm a very simple guy, so I wanted a very simple tool, and I couldn't find one that suited my needs. So I actually hired someone on Upwork to build something for me. And he started a simple automation product that we used internally. And it grew, and the features grew over time as we learned more about LinkedIn. And then we decided to launch it on the Chrome store. It was a Chrome extension at the time, and we
Yeah.
named it Leonard, as you said. It was meetleonard.com, and we launched that on November 2017. And it was free. We didn't know what to expect. We just primarily launched it because a lot of our consulting clients were asking, can you help us with your LinkedIn, or what are you doing on LinkedIn? So we said, hey, here's a tool, go use it. And by February 2018, we had 6,000 users. We didn't even know what to do.
Nice.
So we kind of fell into the automation space. It was scratching our own itch. And then the rest is history. We launched Leonard, and it was quite successful.
Yeah, I come to think about it. at that time I was actually a management consultant, so we were doing market research, business planning, and we had the same struggle as a consultant. We were trying to find leads, and as you just hit all the right buttons. We tried ads, we tried Google ads, we tried social content and everything, and then we said, okay, who is this Leonard solution that gives free invitations? And you had a lot of functionalities like views, endorse, happy birthday, anniversary, auto messages. And when we started using it, we saw some good results. And the results were so good that we said, okay, there is a potential in this LinkedIn outreach. But instead of taking your route in building software solution, we actually took the route where we said, this is a good service that at that time we were just offering email marketing. So actually, when we saw Meet Leonard, we said, okay, there is an opportunity in the LinkedIn industry as well.
Yeah,
So
very much. I mean, we work with lots and lots of different agencies similar to yours, which, they have clients. They may be digital agencies which sell also to different services from Facebook advertising to SEO and things like that. And they've learned that, if you're a B2B business, LinkedIn is probably a great social platform to market, client services. So we work with dozens and dozens of agencies from around the world. But it was really, from the beginning, it was really designed to help us, but it's
yeah.
become a very successful business, not only for us, but for many agencies as well.
Yeah, so it is a market-driven solution. It started solving your own problem, and then you saw that there are others with the same problem, and that's how it actually grew.
Exactly.
I see. Sounds very interesting, Martin. There are a lot of automation softwares out there at the moment. I mean, as internet grows, it's expanding with all those newcomers that are trying to solve different ways of the same problem. So I was curious, how are you differentiating Meet Alfred from the rest? Are there any special hidden skills that it has? I mean, it is a character, a person with the mustache and everything. And on the other hand, I saw that you've moved above LinkedIn. So I saw that you also even have now email functionality. You even had Twitter I checked this morning on your website. So how are you fitting in the whole automation ecosystem?
Absolutely. Well, we started as a LinkedIn automation tool with Leonard. It was a Chrome extension. Unfortunately, LinkedIn has gotten very clever in detecting Chrome extensions,
Yeah.
and we were detected a couple of times, or our users were. And it's not a nice feeling where people get warnings that they're going to get their accounts restricted or banned or whatever. So we felt like it was a duty of care for our customers, and we decided to switch platforms. So the three different technologies that are available in the market are Chrome extensions, which
Yeah.
we had, cloud or server-based or online only based platforms, and what we are is a desktop app. And I don't want to speak negatively of any of our competitors, but Chrome extensions, from our own experience, are very easy to detect.
Been there,
So we've
done
decided
that.
to move away from that. Yeah, it happens. The cloud platforms are really good, but they're very expensive to run. Therefore, the cost normally is very high for the user, but it doesn't solve any of the normal problems of detection, because what happens in many cases, in order to make the product more affordable, the virtual IP address that is assigned to you is shared by a number of users. So you'll find that the cheaper the product, the more users they're sharing the IP address with. So we felt like it wasn't really providing the safety that we wanted to give our users. So we switched to a desktop app, and it's a piece of software that you download and install on your computer. It's the beauty about that technology is that it runs on the very computer you normally access LinkedIn on. So the IP address that it uses is the one that you have. Nothing really changes. So it provides an extra layer of protection. It is, a piece of software you have to download, but we download so many pieces of software every day that it's not an inconvenience. Once it's set up, it sits in the background and runs on its own. So we chose that format as the automation piece. And we, as I said, we started as a LinkedIn automation product, but we feel like, based on our user feedback and what we feel is where the market is that we want to become more of a sales enablement platform. So you'll see a lot of great email-only automation tools. Very popular ones are Gmass, Mailshake, and many, many others. They just offer email. Some others do just Twitter. In our case, we started as LinkedIn, but we felt like if we were able to provide a multi-channel approach, we were able to, give you as a user more choices in order to, be successful in your outreach. Because if you limited everything to LinkedIn, you're going to be bottlenecked.
Exactly.
And the reason primarily comes because of volume, right? So with LinkedIn, you can only send so many connection requests. Depending on the quality of your campaign, you're going to get about 30, 35% conversion rate in someone accepting. But what happens to the other 60, 70% of people that don't accept? Well, you could approach them through email. You could approach them through Twitter. So there's all sorts of different options that we can provide. That's our key differentiator, is that we're multi-channel. So we're a desktop app. Yes, that's a differentiator, but it's really that we're a multi-channel tool. And as we speak, we're just about to release our LinkedIn and Twitter social media post scheduling feature, where you'll be able to,
nice.
publish anything directly from our platform. So we want to become an all-in-one product. It's extremely difficult to do, but we feel like a lot of people, what they're doing is they're piecing together their campaign through, they have one piece of software here to do one thing, another piece of software to do another. We feel like bringing it all together is going to be easier for them. It's going to be more affordable, and it's going to have all the features that they really look for.
Yeah, instead of using several multiple solutions, to have all into one, but that is a headache to create. I mean, there are companies specialized just in social posting and scheduling automation. So you're just like trying to replace 3 to 4 different companies to try to merge them into one. And that sounds quite amazing. I know that we also used several times with Meet Alfred and the desktop app, because we are on a normal telecom IP address. It is a dynamic IP, which means it's changed frequently. So LinkedIn cannot really figure out that you're doing any kind of automation from a fixed IP, because
Correct.
if it was from a fixed IP, you could actually get blocked.
Absolutely.
So sounds very interesting. Are you ready to actually show us how the software works? I think that we're all eager to sneak peek into how it works, what you can do, and how
Sure.
the users can benefit from it.
Absolutely. Look, I don't want to take a ton of time. I'm just going to give you and your audience a quick brief so they get a feel of what's available through our platform and what's different about us. And then, they can start a 14-day free trial. It's completely unrestricted. They can use all the features. So I encourage them, if they feel like this product has the things that they need, that they, take their own trials. We have lots of video tutorials that can guide them through it, but I'll be happy to give you a quick demo.
Perfect. And I'll leave actually your link at the bottom of this video. So anyone that's actually interested to give it a try, to feel free to try.
Okay. So basically what I'm going to show you is, a quick overview of our platform. There are 2 elements to our platform. It is the website, meetalfred.com. And once you log in, this is what you'll be presented with. And there is the Chrome extension, the desktop app that is installed on your computer. So if you look at here, I have it installed and running here. But that's just one of the elements. So essentially, what we provide is the ability to do an incredibly sophisticated, outreach campaign, if you want to call that. And the idea is that, we give you as many options as possible. But so I'll give you a quick brief. In here, all you need to do is create a campaign, and you've got lots of different options. So you have a LinkedIn only campaign, if that's all you want to do. You can also do an email only campaign. This effectively replaces tools like Mailshake or Gmass or all of those. It's available for Gmail, G Suite accounts, as well as Outlook and Microsoft 365. So that's plenty of options to do your email automation. You can also do a Twitter only automation if that's all you want to do, send DMs to people and so on. Or you can do multi-channel. So for the purpose of this, I'm just going to show you the LinkedIn only. You guys in your trials can test everything out.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we're very proud of is the options we provide for adding leads to a campaign. So the first step in a sequence or in a campaign creation is where do you want the leads to come from, or your target audience. And we've got at the moment we've got 8 different options. Number one is a LinkedIn search. So basically what you do here is you put in a basic criteria of who your target audience is, and then Alfred will create a unique LinkedIn URL and will extract all the profiles that meet that criteria. And I'll show you that in a second. The second is for you to do a LinkedIn search of your own. So you go to linkedin.com and you can just do a basic search, and then you can cut and paste the URL you get there into the platform. And you can do that for your LinkedIn Basic or Sales Navigator if you have. If as an alternative, you have a file with LinkedIn profiles and data, you can upload that as well. So it's another option. We also provide the ability to use saved searches and saved accounts and leads from Sales Navigator itself. This is more of an advanced feature, but those that have Sales Navigator know that they can create saved lists and save searches. And you can, by clicking here, there will be a list pull down available to you that you can choose from. Mm-hmm. And then you can also choose first-degree connections. So we are the only LinkedIn automation product or LinkedIn platform, to be honest, that has all of your LinkedIn data available for you. And I'll show that to you in a second. So we scrape all that data and make it super easily available to you in our contacts page. And you can create just campaigns for first-degree connections by selecting them from there. And recently we've added 2 more options, LinkedIn groups. So if you're a member of a group, you can easily select the group from a pull down and you can engage with that audience. Something that's unique to us is that you can send up to 50 messages to group members, whether you're connected with them or not. So think of this as an email, but it's completely for free and it's up to 50 per day. Or you can also send connection requests to people in a group or whatnot.
Yeah, and since they're in a group, it means that they have a similar interest. They're already
exactly
grouped into a category.
Yes. Exactly. So you have a lot more in common. LinkedIn posts is another feature we've recently launched where, if you post regularly or you follow some people that get large audiences and engagement, you can pick that exact post. And you can say, hey, I want to send a connection request or a message or whatever to this entire audience of people that have reacted to this particular post in one way or another. And what it does, it gives you the opportunity for you to engage and say, hey, I saw that you liked this post or you engaged with this post. This is my opinion of it. Love to share my feedback. It's just another way of engaging.
Yeah, it's a conversation starter. It's like a topic while you're reaching out to them.
Exactly. It's beyond personalization. It's personalization together with the common ground that you have, which is that post or that LinkedIn group or whatnot. And last but not least, you can add leads through third-party automation. We use Zapier to connect with over 2,000 apps, and you can add leads to a campaign from HubSpot or Salesforce or wherever you're at, wherever your leads are coming from. You can add them directly here. So that's the first step. We're very proud that we have all these options. And I'll show you quickly what we do for a basic search. If you click on that, let's say I'm looking for company founders. I want them to be second-degree connections because I want to do an outreach campaign to them. I want them to be in San Francisco, for example. And you obviously, this is the same thing as you do with a normal search. And you've got all sorts of different options and criteria. A couple of other things that I normally like to use is to exclude profiles without photos. And this tells me that these people are not really on LinkedIn that often. So why send them a connection request if they're not going to respond? It's going to make my analytics look terrible. I can normally choose premium users only because that tells me that they pay for LinkedIn and they're more often than not engaged. And, I leave it, as simple as that. And then I click next. Once I click next, I'm ready to go. I've got a number of options here. This was a LinkedIn only campaign.
Yeah.
If you were to do a group, LinkedIn group campaign, this will be an option that will be available. If you did email or multi-channel, you would have the email options, Twitter the same, and so on. And all you need to do is just select the things that you want to do. So for example, a lot of people like to, view a particular profile. First, you could follow them on LinkedIn, you can follow them on Twitter, you can endorse for skills, you can even add tags. Let's say that's the first step. Then you can send an automated connection request, as many days later as you want. So for example, let's say I want to send it 4 days later.
Yeah.
There is some pre-populated messages, but you can create your own. And soon we're going to be adding templates and sample content that you can add. So you'll be able to do that as well. And you can send a follow-up message once they accept. It's not an immediate message. There is a delay always, so it looks natural. And thereafter, you can, after they've connected, let's say you want to send some more messages, 7, 8 days later, and just carry on and keep on adding features and whatnot. Steps into your sequence. You can send emails, you can do all sorts of different additions, and then you can easily change them as well. So if you want to change the order of one over the other, you can.
It's drag and drop.
Drag and drop. It's very easy. You can personalize each message with a first name, a last name, company, position, or location. And there's all sorts of different things that you can do. Once you are happy with your sequence, all you need to do is click on next, name the campaign, and you're good to go. So it's that simple. You obviously review some of the things here, and you publish, and you're good to go. So there's a slight delay, for things to prepare and all the work to be performed behind the scenes. But as you can see, it's already gathering leads that quickly. It's all doing it in the background. And here's an example of another campaign I had running. It was only viewing profiles, so there's 276, and it's viewed 54. But that's, I'm giving you a very quick overview of how things run. But I want to show you what I said there was a major differentiator, which is our CRM. We call it the Alfred CRM, but it's basically all of your LinkedIn data, in the one place. So here is how many connections I have in this account, which is 3,037. You've got everyone's data. Whatever they've made available on LinkedIn, we scrape it and make it available for you, whether it's an email or a phone number or a Twitter account or whatever. We have very sophisticated advanced search, where you can, for example, say, hey, I want people only with a premium profile. So out of the 3,037, I've got 109 that have a premium profile. Maybe that's not something that I really care about. If I want to say, everybody that's got an email, so I can send them an email campaign. Well, in this case, there's 2,843 that out of the 3,000 that have shared their email on LinkedIn. And it's all available there. It's all exportable. If you want to just check out their Skype, if you want to hit them up on Skype, you can do that there. There's, in my case, there's 249 people, same with Twitter and so on. You can create really crazy combinations and then target those. These are all your first degree connections. So you can target those quite easily. We also have a feature called the Inbox, which is a smart inbox. You can manage your replies directly inside of Alfred. You can read and reply and take notes and add all sorts of different tags to these people so you can track them. It took a few seconds to load, but this is a conversation that I'm having with someone. Here is all the additional data that you have access to. And it's a very simple, easy process. It replaces your inbox on.
You don't even need to open LinkedIn in order to look at all the messages.
As I said before, we're trying to make it one-stop shop where you just do everything here. You don't have to, leave the platform, whether it's to, schedule your posts or other things. We've got, team capabilities with multiple members of a team, so you can share, campaigns and so on and so forth. One thing that we recently launched, as a matter of fact, we launched 2 weeks ago, is services approach. And on top of that, if this is all ready for you to do it yourself, you can use the software. But on top of that, we also do 100% done for your LinkedIn marketing. So if you want us to run the campaigns for you, if you want us to do the copywriting, if you would just want to be completely hands off, we can certainly provide that solution as well. So those are key. I'm trying to be as brief as possible. I know you were short of time, but I wanted to kind of give you a good brief overview of what's possible with that platform. You have a dashboard where you have a lot of analytics. You even see your social selling index right here. You can get all the data. Again, I don't want to bog down into all the details. There's so much you can do with that platform. But in short, Alfred really is designed to provide users a one-stop solution for an extended, multi-channel, really complex multi-messaging campaigns, give you a CRM with all of your LinkedIn data, which LinkedIn doesn't offer you anymore, give you an inbox so you can reply and manage your conversations quite easily. And we provide professional services as well to make it easy for you.
Yeah, it is becoming a one-stop shop for growing your business.
Absolutely.
Sounds very interesting, Martin. Our audience is mostly consisted from high-ticket service providers. So I just wanted to follow up. I mean, you showed the process on how they can do it. So when we're talking about software development company, consultants, marketing agencies, how they can actually use Meet Alfred to find new clients?
Well, look, at the end of the day, the first thing that you need to assess is your target audience, is your target customer on LinkedIn? And the answer may be yes, but the second thing that you need to kind of assess is whether they're active on LinkedIn. I mean, we found many industries, for example, education, medicine, a lot of these industries, they may have a profile on LinkedIn, but they're just not regular visitors.
Yeah.
So one tip that I normally give to people is that if you're targeting a particular audience, just do a basic search for them on LinkedIn, but have a look at how many people have a golden LinkedIn logo, which means that they have a premium profile. And the more people you see as a percentage of the overall search results, the more you can feel confident that as an industry and as a group of people, they're active on LinkedIn. If you have a very small number of people that have a premium logo, you're gonna have to question whether LinkedIn is the right channel for you. So I would definitely start with that. And if they are active, then the question is, how do you want to reach out to them? The way we say that you should use LinkedIn, it's all about quality over quantity. I know Alfred and many of the other automation tools are all, you can send lots and lots of messages. It can't be thought of and it can't be treated in the same way that you do email automation, where you can send 10,000 emails and hope that you get 1-2% response rate. LinkedIn is about relationships. So the way I normally suggest to people is that think of it as, instead of going to a local meetup or a local networking event, you can do it all online now with LinkedIn. But if you went to a local meetup, surely you don't go out there and handshake everybody and give them a business card and ask them, do they want to do business with you? Because they don't know you from a bar of soap. So what we say is, get to know some people, try to target the right people in the room, build a meaningful, trusting relationship, and then do business. And that's where I feel most people fail in LinkedIn, is that they go straight for the sale, because they have quotas to meet, they have sales to make, they're trying to grow their business. But that's not what LinkedIn is for. LinkedIn is really just a virtual networking event that you're going to have to build relationships, build trust, and from there really get them to engage with you. And another thing, if I may say, we've found the most successful people in our platform, and we've got over 50,000 registered users. The thing that we see the most is that they use Alfred as a means to connect with people, but they use a lot of content on LinkedIn in order to generate inbound inquiries. So they never actually do much outreach. They actually get a lot of inbound inquiries because of the content they share, the value they provide. And that's what we're going to be releasing, the LinkedIn post scheduling feature, because we want them to be able to post all that kind of stuff with ease and then get a lot of engagement. And then from there, you'll get inquiries because people trust you, they see you as an expert, and so on. And it's longer tail, but it provides better results, in my opinion. Again, you can use the tool whichever way you want, but I just know that, if you invest in your profile, if you invest in your relationships and you provide value through content, you're going to get a lot of value long term.
I see. So the relationship is the right route, and if you're actually trying for a quick win, like blast a lot of invitation, like "Hi, would you like to buy?" then you're just burning the bridges with your ideal target.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's just not, surely if somebody tried to sell you something on the first your conversation, you wouldn't be buying. So, you've got to put yourself in the shoes of the other person and treat them the way you would like to be treated.
I see. I see. Sounds perfect, Martin. I also wanted to ask you about partnerships. I mean, nowadays every company needs to have partners in order to succeed, especially in 21st century. So I was just curious to ask you, is Meet Alfred have any partnership opportunities?
Sure. So we work, as I mentioned, with lots of different agencies that use our platform or our done for you services to deliver the service for their consumers. So that's one relationship that we, have been doing from day
Mhm.
one. The second is we're literally in the next week or two, we're going to be launching our own affiliate program. So if people
Nice.
want to, promote us and earn a healthy commission, we very, we're very happy that we're launching that because it's been asked of us for a very long time. So we'll be able to do all sorts of different partnerships. And then, right now what we're looking to do is to do a lot of content. So, this is a perfect platform for us to share not only what we know about LinkedIn, yes, a little bit about our product, but again, at the end of the day, what I want people to walk away with is the fact that whether you choose our platform or anyone else's, LinkedIn is really good if you're in the B2B space. In reality, we hope that people treat LinkedIn with respect, treat their contacts with
Yeah.
respect, and they are building meaningful relationships and not just blasting everybody. We know that some people do, and it's unfortunate, but we feel like you're missing out, So those are the kind of key things that I want people to walk away with. And if they choose our platform because it's got so many features, a CRM with your contacts, multi-channel, automation, and soon, additional features like post scheduling. We'd love to have you, and you can reach me at any time, and I'll be happy to help you in any way I can.
Sounds very exciting. There are a lot of things going around Meet Alfred. And I think you've already mentioned some of the future plans, but usually our last question is to tell us a bit more about your product roadmap and what is new in Alfred. What the viewers can expect in the following, I don't know, few months, half a year. Where is your
Sure.
vision on where Alfred is headed?
Sure. So there are a couple of things, some that have already been released and some that are coming. As I said, 2 weeks ago, we launched the professional services, and it's really designed to help anyone, get a leg up on whatever they may be missing. If something is not your forte, if your profile is not strong, or you're not great at copywriting, or you're not great at doing searches, we can help you with that. It's beyond the tool. You don't even have to use our tool to be able to access those
Yeah.
services. In addition, we've done the done for you options, which are extremely affordable, but it's really designed for people that are very busy, that don't want to learn the tool, or that don't know how to do the copywriting and just want to completely outsource it. And that's another option. So that was released 2 weeks ago. Over the next 48 hours, touch wood, we will be releasing the LinkedIn post scheduling feature. You'll be able to automate both on LinkedIn and Twitter, so that's a plus. You'll also be able to post on your feed, your groups, or your company pages. So you'll have a lot of flexibility. We'll also give you a lot of analytics to show you how the posts are performing. And that's coming in, as I said, in this week at some point. Moving forward, we have one more feature that may or may not be released this calendar year 2020, but it is what we call an email finder. So because we offer email automation, we are looking to give access to our users to our vast database of LinkedIn contacts. You'll be able to do your searches, and you'll know you're going to get verified emails because we use some of the latest technology to scrape data that's publicly available. So it's GDPR compliant, and you'll be able to buy using credits. You'll be able to buy emails and phone numbers and any LinkedIn data you want. We collect up to 44 different data points. I mean, from WeChat to Skype or whatever is available, we make it available. So that's the next, feature that we're going to be releasing. Beyond that, our focus is going to be on teams and really offering great collaboration capabilities. So for example, a team will be able to target an entire audience together. They'll be able to never overlap the outreach. So me and you work in the same company, we don't want to contact the same person. It just
even with
terrible.
the same message. It's like
exactly with the same message. So we will be able to do that. We'll also, what we plan to do is to make it competitive amongst sales team members, where we'll be ranking people based on different metrics. So let's say you have a team of 5 salespeople or 10 or whatever, you'll be able to rank everybody by conversion rate, by response rate, by reply rate, and so on, just to build some kind of internal challenges that could maybe different companies can use differently. But we think we've built a pretty robust platform. We are looking into cloud automation ourselves as well. It's been asked, it's the number one thing that we get asked every day. But until we feel safe or we feel like we can provide a safe product for our customers that is stable, that is still affordable, we won't be switching platforms until then. But that's kind of a little bit of an insight of what's to come.
Yeah, it is in the roadmap, but it's not sure when it will happen. Yeah, so I see a lot of exciting things happening right now, but also are in your pipeline. So it was really nice talking with you, Martin. I mean, I've used Meet Alfred for quite a lot of time, and we are all excited to see all the new features that are coming.
No, thank you for being a loyal customer. More than happy to continue to help you and your agency. We think you guys do a great job. I mean, I've personally told you that I think your methodology on LinkedIn is the future of outreach within LinkedIn. We feel like the approach you take is not only personal, but really non-intrusive. So I commend you for your tactics, and I'm sure you're delivering great results for your customers.
Yeah, thank you. Well, as you said it perfectly, I mean, the relationship is king on LinkedIn, and rather than spamming, it's actually nurturing leads into clients. Thank you very much again, Martin, for having this call. And everybody stay tuned as we actually look at more B2B outbound marketing and sales automation tools.